another day of the week. Welcome to the Friday edition of Chasing That Paper, presented by VegasInsider.com. So I regret to inform you that Ian and I are coming off the most embarrassing show in show history. I think we're about, 57 episodes in now. First time in show history, we both got reverse swept. Yes, a double reverse cowgirl, as Ian and I combined to go 0-6 with our picks there yesterday. But, as always, we live to bet another day. We have 9 total bets for the NFL today. We're going to be weighing in on Ian's Atlanta Falcons there last night, talking a little Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, UFC 281. So let's bring in my guy, senior editor, over at Bedside, licking his wounds after his Atlanta Falcons. Nice piece of memorabilia there in the background, though. Show us your prized possession in the back there, Ian.
Yes, this is, I got this about an hour and a half before kickoff last night. It didn't do us any good, but a Kyle Pitts signed Falcons helmet.
Looks like a forgery to me. Looks like a forgery to me. Where'd you get that? The side of the road in Brooklyn somewheres, or?
Yeah, I actually just found it, exactly that, on the sidewalk, just outside my building, so scooped it up.
Right, indeed. Okay, so we got to bounce back here, Ian. The only way we can go is up here. We're touching on 9 of, I think, the 12 games being played in the NFL on Sunday. So I got 5 totals. Ian's got 4 sides. Let's get right into the action. We're going to start things off in New Jersey. We got the Texans. We got the Giants. This game has a total of 41.5 points. Guys, I absolutely love the under in this game. So never mind investing your money in another crypto scam or Beanie Babies. Just invest your money in Giants home unders. Check this out. Go back about 2 calendar years. Giants home games, 14-1-1 to the under. 11 of these games failed to cross 40 points. These offenses are just flat out pathetic. 29th and 30th in yards per pass attempt. No big playability from the Giants whatsoever. Just 9 passing plays of 20-plus yards this season. That is easily the worst in the NFL. The next closest team has 18. Each of these offensive lines is getting absolutely obliterated. 3rd and 6th in pressure allowed. And the Giants defense, a couple bright spots here. Tremendous on 3rd down and in the red zone. 4th in opponent 3rd down conversion percentage. And 3rd in opponent red zone touchdown conversion percentage. Give me the under in New Jersey. Ian, what are you looking at first?
Yeah, I'm going to start off with my underdog upset of the week here, and we're going across the pond to Deutschland, Joe, for the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. And I'm going to take the Seahawks here, plus 130 on the money line to upset the Yucks, who, for my Falcons' sake, I need them to lose here. So let's go Seahawks, who quietly, people aren't talking about this, but they have had the best defense in the NFL over the last few games, at least when it comes to opponent yards per play over their last 3 games. First in the NFL in that category, allowing just 4.2 yards per snap. But there is a way that you can attack the Seahawks defense, and it is by running the football, because they do rank 25th in opponent yards per carry. But the Yucks last in the NFL in offensive yards per carry, just averaging 3.0 yards per rush. And the reason why that is, or at least correlated to that, is the fact that they throw the ball with the highest pass play rate in the NFL. Nobody throws the ball more than the Buccaneers, and that feeds right into the Seahawks' defensive strength, because they rank 3rd in opponent yards per pass attempt over their last 3 games. And listen, just overall, I don't think the Seahawks team should be an underdog. I think it's time to accept that the Buccaneers aren't that good and that the Seahawks are actually a good team. You want to just look at net yards per play for the full season. Seahawks 10th, Buccaneers 7th, and trending in the wrong direction. I'll back the Seahawks here on the money line in Germany.
Yeah, 100% in agreement on that one, Ian. The wrong team is favored in that game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just getting by based on reputation solely, not based on what they've done this season. I love the Seahawks actually teasing them up to +9, plus 9.5, depending on what the line is at right now. Okay, let's keep rolling with these totals here. Lions, Bears in Chicago. We got a total of 48.5. Boom! Give me the over in this one. Let's get right into it. So we have some offensive strengths versus defensive weaknesses on full display here. 2nd and 7th in yards per rush attempt. Defensively, against the run, 26th and 28th. Detroit is great in the red zone. 3rd in red zone TD conversion percentage. Chicago's defense, 28th in the red zone. And both of these defenses just flat out stink. 27th and 32nd in yards per play allowed. Neither can make a stop on 3rd down. Last and 2nd to last in opponent 3rd down conversion percentage. The Bears, actually, on 3rd down offensively, they rank number 1 in the NFL over the last 3 games. A bit of a surprise there. And looks like a good spot for each quarterback here. It absolutely filled the stat sheet. 30th and 31st in sacks, these defenses on the season. Looks like a lovely spot in Chicago. Give me the over. Ian, what are we looking at next?
I am looking at the game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll take the Jaguars plus 9.5 in this one. I've talked about this anytime that there's a big spread, usually when it's double digits. I mean, let's be honest, it's basically double digits, 9.5 points. For me to lay points, I need them to be playing against a bottom 5 team in the NFL. Not the case here with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, yes, their record is not good, but heading into this week, they rank 11th in the NFL in net yards per play. They do not deserve to be this big of an underdog. Also, some holes have been exposed in this Chiefs defense. Let's rattle off a few stats here. 19th in sack percentage, 20th in opponent completion percentage, 30th in red zone defense, and they've also allowed 7 yards per throw over their last 3 games. So it's not like this Chiefs defense is a top-tier unit. You can get after them. And also, Joe, you know this, neither of us are big trends guys, but I do think this one is at least worth mentioning. Chiefs are 7-19 against the spread as favorites of more than 3 points dating back to November 8th, 2020. This might be a bit of a hot take, but I think Mahomes is almost so good that it causes the Chiefs as an entire team to get overvalued because they think, oh, Patrick Mahomes, he'll lead the Chiefs to a 20-point win. Well, let's not forget, there's 21 other starters on offense and defense in this game. Patrick Mahomes, yes, he's the best quarterback in the NFL, but he can't do it all himself. This is a whole team that we have to consider. And I think they get overvalued sometimes, especially when they don't play or when they play against teams that aren't kind of a contender like the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'll take the 9.5 points with the Jags.
Yeah, Chiefs, great team, but not necessarily a good bet, are they? So I don't disagree with you on that one at all. Okay, let's keep rolling. Absolutely beautiful spot in Tennessee. I do not like this bet. I absolutely love it. With the Broncos in town, we get a total of 38.5. What do you think we're doing with this one? It's a Broncos game. Boom! Give me the under! Let's dig into this one. This is a match made in under heaven. This game has 13-10 written all over it. These teams are 23rd and 26th in yards per play, 29th and 31st on 3rd down, 1st and 7th on 3rd down defense. Denver easily last in red zone offense, but easily first in red zone defense. Tennessee, great versus the run. Broncos, great versus the pass. These teams are allowing the most and 8th most quarterback pressure. Check out the Broncos this season. Average combined score of 31.6 in their games this season. They've actually gone under in 19 of 25 games since the start of last season. And this Titans defense coming on fairly strong here. 20 points or fewer allowed in 5 straight games for them. They actually rank 6th in yards per play allowed over their last 3. Very impressive defensive display in Kansas City last week. So look for another low-scoring one there in Tennessee on Sunday. Ian, what are we looking at next?
Next up, we got a classic matchup, a rematch of the Ice Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Going to try to get some revenge here
about
from
this
the
one.
60s. Yeah, that's
Big
right.
revenge spot.
Give me the... I'll lay the 4.5 points with the Cowboys here against the Packers. This Packers team, kind of in the similar vein to the Buccaneers. We just need to accept that they're not a good team. I think they're officially broken. They have not really had a tough schedule whatsoever, and they've lost now, like 5 games in a row, I think it is? They're not bouncing back. They're not going on a run. The Packers just stink. They gained 5.6 yards per play and only scored 9 points against the worst defense in the NFL last week in the Detroit Lions. And now they have to take on the Cowboys, who have been one of the best defenses in the NFL, and they rank first in sack percentage, taking down the opposing quarterback on 11.2% of their dropbacks. The Packers offensive line in for a long day on Sunday. And also the Cowboys offense kind of held them back at times this year, but Dak has now had a couple games under his belt, and they're gaining some momentum. 7.8 yards per play in their last game against the Bears. That's the most yards per play in any team's last game. Now, I will say the Bears defense has been atrocious this year, especially lately. So maybe that has to play a role in it. But still, with Dak back, a few games under his belt, their offense is looking good. Their defense is one of the best units in the league. I think they beat the Packers handedly in the rematch of the Ice Bowl.
Yeah, the Packers, a complete and total disgrace there, Ian. I think they're smarter than everyone else. How's that working out for you guys? Sorry, LaFleur, you're not Belichick, for God's sakes. Okay, speaking of revenge spots here, Ian, we got Jacoby Brissett returning to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. There won't be a dry eye in the house with Brissett returning to play against his former team. So Browns Dolphins total for this one, 49.5. Boom! Give me the over in this one. So check out the Dolphins offense, absolutely peaking right now, coming off of two beautiful games offensively. 66 points scored combined in the last two. Dolphins are second in yards per play for the season, but first over their last three games. 9.4 yards per pass attempt over their last three. Easily leads the NFL. You check out this Cleveland defense, nothing special at all. 19th in yards allowed per play, 23rd in yards allowed per pass attempt. Three separate games where they've allowed at least 30 points. Probably be four after they play the Dolphins. On the other side of the football, though, it's a different story for Miami. This defense is dipping. Getting burned through the air. They can't get stops on third down. 27th in opponent third down conversion percentage. Browns offense, meanwhile, above average. Top 12 in both yards per rush attempt and yards per pass attempt. And expect more TDs than FG attempts in this one. Weak red zone defenses, 21st and 28th. However, offensively in that category, 4th versus 12th. Give me the over in beautiful Miami. Okay, Ian, your last pick of the show. What are you looking at?
Yeah, let's head to Sunday Night Football. Battle of California here. San Francisco against the Chargers.
What a storyline.
What a storyline, man. I'll take the 49ers -7. I will lay the points with San Francisco here. The Chargers, not a good football team. I think I'm ready to officially say that. They barely beat the Falcons last week, and then we saw what the Falcons were like last night against the Panthers, which was a complete and utter dumpster fire. 25th in net yards per play heading into this week at -0.6. That is not good. And now they take on a San Francisco 49ers team that is second in net yards per play at +1.1. Also, we all know this. San Francisco loves to run the football. It's what their whole offense revolves around. And now they have one of the best running backs in the NFL in Christian McCaffrey, and they get to take on the worst running defense in the NFL in the Chargers, who allow 5.7 yards per carry. That sucks. The 49ers are also mostly healthy. I say mostly healthy because Jason Verrett did tear his Achilles in practice this week. But to be fair, he hadn't played all season yet anyways. But they are getting back Deebo Samuel, Juan Jennings, Dre Greenlaw, Azeez Al-Shaair, Elijah Mitchell. They benefited greatly from their bye week, which they're coming off of. So I will lay the points with the 49ers in the Battle of California.
All right, we're in disagreement on that one. We'll debate that here shortly. I'm going to bring it home for us here, though, Ian. My final pick of the show. Once again, let's keep rolling with these totals. I bet type that I'm up on units here this season, thankfully. So we got the Cardinals. We got the Rams. This game has a total of just 40.5 points. Low number, but guess what? It's not low enough. Give me the under, goddammit. So check out Rams home games at SoFi Stadium since they started playing there in 2020. 17-6 to the under. Arizona played in a couple games there. Of note, one game they scored 11 points. Another game they scored 7. So hopefully we'll see another low output from them. Last 6 games overall for the Rams, very low scoring, of course. Average combined score of just 34.1, including a 32-point game in Arizona. And these offenses are complete dog shit. Let's not sugarcoat it for a goddamn second here, Ian. 29th and 32nd in yards per play. DeAndre Hopkins hasn't made a difference for the Cardinals. 4.9 yards per play on the season. 5 yards per play in the 3 games with him in the lineup. A few defensive highlights for the Rams. It's not all bad. 2nd in red zone defense. 5th in yards per rush allowed. And Matthew Stafford in concussion protocol, it's said that he's facing an uphill battle to play. And you look at the backups for the Rams. Who in the fuck are these guys? John Wolford and a man named Bryce Perkins were each taking snaps in practice there on Thursday. So I'm assuming Stafford plays, but hey, even better if it's one of these backups in there. So give me the under for Cardinals versus Rams. Okay, Ian. I think we touched about every game on the board there except for the big Raiders-Colts game. And an interesting game we'll touch on here in a second, the Bills versus Vikings. Interesting storylines in each of those games. But first, guys, I want to tell you 9 total bets there. If you want to tail any of them, want to fade any of them, the choice quite simply is yours. I recommend placing your action over at BetMGM. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Kick off your day of sports betting with the king of sportsbook. Sign up with BetMGM using bonus code VIBonus, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. That's VI bonus, all one word, no spaces, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 or older. BetMGM.com, the king of sportsbooks. Yeah. All right. So I disagree with you there, Ian, on the 49ers pick.
How dare you?
As one of your best bets. The 49ers and the Chargers, both very much like the Tennessee Titans. You got to throw the stats out the window. You take a look at all the stats for the 49ers, and you think, hey, this is one of the best teams in the NFL. They got a 4-4 record. They're a 500 team with some awful losses, losing to the Bears, the Broncos, a 14-point loss to your Atlanta Falcons. The one time they play a good team, the Kansas City Chiefs come into town and beat the living shit out of them. They beat them by 21 points. So, yeah, the 49ers, yeah, they are better than the record 4-4 indicates, but a real cupcake schedule, too. Beating up on the Rams, that doesn't have the same meaning as it used to. Meanwhile, the Chargers, you got to throw the stats out the window for them, too. They're like the Tennessee Titans all of a sudden. Statistically, they stink. They're 4-1 in their last 5 games. So I think that the Chargers can give them a little bit of a game here.
I disagree.
On Sunday. So we disagree. Maybe we'll think of some type of wager to place.
Tattoo bet.
Tattoo bet. The loser gets a winner's face tattooed on their ass. Classic bet type. I will get it in writing. I'm going to get my lawyer on the line here following the show. So a couple things I want to touch on here, Ian. I'm going to get your thoughts on your Falcons, who look like the Falcons all of a sudden once again after that display last night. But I want to talk to you about this Buffalo Bills game. Neither of us made a pick on this game. Now, I think the total for this one opened at around, 7.5? Yes. And then it came out early in the week that Josh Allen, the elbow's not looking so good. Ian Rappaport just tweeted out that Allen is not even being considered day-to-day. He's being considered hour by hour, hour to hour. So I'm assuming that means, what happens in practice today. But if he doesn't play, I'm willing to assume that this spread will tuck inside of 3 points, right? Because it's been assumed that he's not going to play, and it keeps coming down it's all the way down to 3.5 right now. So if it becomes official, Allen's not going to play, Case Keenum's going to play. I love the Bills as a small favorite in that game versus the Minnesota Vikings, who we've talked about, hey, they keep winning. The win-loss record is impressive, but statistically, they're not very good. Their defense absolutely stinks. And I do think, sometimes we laugh about these motivation spots. I do think this is a good motivation spot if Allen does not play, what do we think? The Bills are just going to lay down? No, I think they're going to want to prove they're more than just a one-man team. So I would absolutely love the Bills in that spot. You are in agreement with me on that?
Yes, now I did something stupid because people know I bet on every single NFL game, and I have to lock my bets before I record my podcast early in the week. So I'm already on the Bills, and I'm on them -7.5. So I'm on the worst possible line on this team.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking to bet on them now, take the Bills. Case Keenum's not a bad backup quarterback. And also, Joe, you didn't mention, be a Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs revenge game. A double revenge game? Sounds like a lock to me. You got to take the Bills.
Bills, okay. Weigh in on your Falcons, Ian. I had that game on last night. I was switching back and forth between that and the New Jersey Devils hockey game, and that game came to an end. I'm watching this football game. I'm seeing punt after punt and just absolutely atrocious play calling. And we get to halftime, and I said, I'm not watching another goddamn minute of this crap. I'm not wasting my time. I threw on the new Game of Thrones series. Much better entertainment there. But how did you feel as a fan of the Atlanta Falcons? I know they're coming off that miserable loss last week, but, you know, as a favorite versus the lowly Panthers, how did you feel throughout the night? Did you sleep good last night?
No, I slept like crap. I stayed up and drank after that game. No, but I mean, heading into the season, we all thought the Falcons were going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, so expectations were low. In the first half of the season, they're like, ooh, they're feisty, they're hanging around the NFC South, oh, they're kind of fun to watch. It all kind of came crashing back down to earth last night in prime time in front of all of North America. They showed their true colors. This Falcons team stinks. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know. A lot of the Falcons fan base is calling for Desmond Ridder to get thrown in. I don't know about that. I mean, let's not forget, Desmond Ridder's not like, he wasn't a highly touted prospect heading into the draft. Like, he wasn't a first-round draft pick. It's not like we're, you know, this guy's definitely going to be the quarterback of our future. I think you got to throw him in at some point. But, I mean, if the Bucs lose, we're still technically in the race. Even if they win, we're still in the race for the NFC South. And we have some easy games coming up. So I don't know if now is the time to go to Ridder. But yeah, my excitement about this team took a huge hit last night. We had to win that game. The Panthers stink. And we looked terrible in every aspect of the game. It was bad.
And they own their first-round draft pick, correct?
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
I think they do.
Yeah.
You know who's going to be potentially in really good shape for a couple seasons? I'm pretty sure the Lions have the Rams' first overall draft pick for this upcoming draft, right? For the Matthew Stafford trade. I probably should have looked that up before.
I think the Eagles have a first-round draft pick of some crap team, too.
Yeah, like I was thinking the Lions are going to be set up. Like, we often talk about how young quarterbacks are brought into this league and just put in just awful, shitty situations behind a horrible offensive line, you know, the team with a bad defense, bad coaching situation. I think the Lions are being pretty smart about building the offensive line, the defensive line, and kind of waiting to draft a quarterback. They might get a gem at quarterback in a year or two in the draft, and this guy's going to come in with a pretty good wide receiver to play with, a pretty good running back behind a good line. Not so much a good coach there with Dan Campbell. I don't know how much longer he can keep his job. Producer Tito weighing in. Lions first and second round 2023 draft picks stand going into 10th week. Lions first round pick 5th. Rams first round pick 12th. Okay, so it looks like they do have the Rams first overall pick. So they're going to be in a pretty good spot there, I think. Okay, let's talk UFC 281 here really quickly, Ian.
Yes.
You're going to the event.
Yes.
Lucky motherfucker. I will be drunk on my couch in my pajamas. I'll be comfortable, at least, but I will be jealous of you. I hope you have an absolute blast here. So let's talk about this main event. I think that this is probably the storyline of the year in the UFC as far as like a build-up to a fight is concerned. You have Adesanya undefeated at middleweight in his career in the UFC, but his arch nemesis from the world of kickboxing, who's made a name for himself in the sport of MMA, 2-0 against Adesanya in kickboxing, including a knockout in 2017. He's coming up to challenge after coming off a very impressive knockout over Sean Strickland. Pereira, he's got that touch of God. It just hits you Like McGregor in his prime, Anderson Silva in his prime, he touches you on the chin, and your lights are going out. But we take a look at the odds here for this, Ian, and money is coming in on the champion. Adesanya up to minus 210. Pereira at plus 180. Which direction are you going in for the main event here tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm going to take the underdog Pereira, actually. Usually I'm a stats-based handicapper, even when it comes to UFC. I think stats kind of get thrown out the window here. I think it kind of comes down to what Israel Adesanya's game plan is going to be. If he comes into this fight and decides to turn it into a mixed martial arts fight, if he wants to grapple and try to get a takedown, which he's never attempted in his UFC career, then I think he's going to have the advantage because Pereira hasn't been in the sport long enough to know how to deal with that. But I don't think he's going to. I think his ego is going to get the best of him. He's going to turn this into a kickboxing fight. And if that happens, I think the edge actually goes to Pereira. And also in general, I haven't really been impressed by Adesanya in his last few fights. He's been fighting boring. He gets mad at media when they ask him why he's like not doing anything in there. I think he's kind of gotten full of himself a little bit, as silly as that sounds to say. I think that does kind of play a role a little bit. So I would set Adesanya as the favorite, but not nearly as big of a favorite as the odds are. So I think the value lies with Pereira.
Yeah, it's going to be a fight on the feet. I am aligned with you on Pereira in this fight. I think he's going to bring the fights to Adesanya more than any of his previous opponents have been able to do. And, he has the 2 fights in kickboxing against him. If they were to fight a third time in kickboxing, who would be the favorite in that fight? I'm willing to assume that it's Pereira would be the favorite in that fight. I guess the fight, people say they're closer than the results were, but still, he's 2-0 against him, right? So these guys aren't going to be on the mat trying to lock in submissions against each other. It's going to be contested on the feet. And like I said, Pereira's got that touch of God. If he hits you the right way, he can put you down, put you on the mat. So yeah, plus 180. Absolutely beautiful number on him today, in the opinion of I, and in the opinion of Ian. All right, that's enough shooting. Oh, there we go. Impressive.
I'm bringing the dab back.
I like it. It's time for a return. Okay, guys, if you like what we do here at Vegas Insider, I recommend checking out the brand new Vegas Insider app. We've got up-to-date, easy-to-navigate odds for every major sport. We have all our latest shows and best bet videos and podcasts. Props, trends, features, news, all on the Vegas Insider app. Download the Vegas Insider app right now on Apple and Android. Bet better with the Vegas Insider app. Yeah! Okay, guys, I will remind you, if you are watching right now on YouTube, please do me a favor. There's a like button right down there. And I think a subscribe button right beside that. If you're on mobile, I think it's down a little bit lower. If you're on a desktop computer, I'm not sure about tablets. But give those a click for us. Helps us out. Helps us keep the lights on here at Chasing That Paper. After combining to go 0-6 last night, we need all the help we can get, right? Light bulbs are getting more expensive. Okay, let's get into some viewer picks from the CTP crew. A lot of submissions today. Thank you, everyone, for submitting. Tito, let's rip through these so we can get on our way. It's time for lunch here. Jason Jantz. Nice number here. Russell Westbrook. Under 36 PRA. He's averaging just 28 on the year. Averaged 34 against the Kings last year. His minutes are also down about 5 per game, of course, coming off the bench now. Russ has hit 37.5 exactly 0 times this season. Give me the under, CTP crew. Yeah, I know LeBron's out of the lineup, but man, these Lakers are a mess. They might be down 20 going into the fourth quarter in this one. Don't even get me started on them. Okay, what do we have next here, Tito? Schreckengost. He had the balls to take the Penguins the other night to break out of their losing streak against the Capitals, and they destroyed them. So good call by him. We'll see if he's got a good one tonight. He likes the Kraken tonight to crack the Wild over the head. Even money last 10 games. Seattle has the edge in expected goals for percentage and Corsi percentage. 5-on-5, Ian.
5-on-5 Corsi percentage. Let's go, Schreckengost.
Yes, sir. Huge discrepancy in converting chances. Seattle is first in shooting percentage, while Minnesota ranks 31st. Yeah, their offense stinks. Their defense is fantastic. Simply don't believe in the Wild. Only 2 wins against teams 500 or better this season. All right, what do we have next, Tito? Good luck to Nathan. Matty Puppy Sports. So he likes Jerry Jeudy to go over 51.5 yards. He's hit this line in 5 straight games and gets another good matchup. Titans have injuries in the secondary. Russell Wilson has shown signs of improvement. Jeudy has logged a reception of 25 yards or longer in 5 straight games. I might have to take a look at his over-under longest reception prop. So yeah, I think that's an all right look. I like the under in that game. These bets doesn't exactly go against my bet in any way. But yeah, I do expect the Broncos defense to be better in the second half. They can only go up, but I don't necessarily expect that to begin in this game versus Tennessee, whose defense has shown improvement in recent weeks. What do we have next, Tito? Call me hole in one. Big golfer here. Wow. This guy a follow. I like this look, though. He's got Jared Allen over 25.5 points and rebounds, minus 120. He has topped this in his last 5 games. Yeah, this guy's a machine in the paint, averaging 28.4 a game. Golden State 24th in rebound percentage. Golden State has also allowed 120 points per game in their last 5 games. Yeah, the Warriors, they don't give a shit about the regular season. So yeah, we will wish our guy, Call Me Hole in One, good luck on that. And look who we have here, inserting himself into the program, Tito Benock. I confirmed the pronunciation of his last name with him the other day. We've been working together for what, about 4 or 5 months now. I should have known that a long time ago, but here we are. Tito, he's on Donovan Peoples-Jones to go over 43.5 receiving yards. I believe someone else made a over bet on Peoples-Jones a couple of weeks ago. Finns have the 23rd worst passing yards per game defense, 26 in yards per pass attempt. That's singular, not plural, Tito. DPJ has crossed this number in 5 straight games. Also won't be covered by Xavier Howard. I don't know how Tito knows that for sure. I guess you would assume Howard would be on Amari Cooper. But, yeah, okay. So we thank you, everyone, for the submissions. I got a couple bets for the NBA and NHL today. I like the Tampa Bay Lightning. I took them at minus 140 against the struggling Washington Capitals. And I took Donovan Mitchell and Desmond Bane to go over their point totals. If you're looking for the reasons why, I have those write-ups on my Twitter account, JTFOZ on Twitter. Ian, have you made any picks in the NHL? I know you've been hot lately. Anything on your radar? I think just 4 games tonight.
Haven't even looked at the board, Joe. I do like that Kraken bet that Schreckengoss gave out, though, so I might have to tail that. But no, I haven't looked at anything yet. I woke up this morning hungover, so I had time to prepare my notes for the show and then jump on to talk NFL. So I've not looked at anything else yet, unfortunately. But I will have picks. Keep an eye on my Twitter. I'll have picks for tonight.
Yeah, your Leafs versus my Penguins.
Now,
I'm not going to talk any shit whatsoever because the Penguins are, 1-7 in their last 8 games. So I hope that they will pick up the win is all I will say. And maybe I'll talk a little shit in the morning depending on the result of the game. If it doesn't go my way, you will not be hearing from me. Okay, guys, it is now time for today's Handicapper Heat Check presented by VegasInsider.com, your home for the best expert picks in the business. Since 1997, today we recognize college football expert Scott Rickenbach. Scott is heating up on the college gridiron. 3 straight winners this week and 5-1 in his last 6 college football picks. Save $10 on Scott's picks across all sports by clicking in the link in the description below. The discount will be applied during checkout. That's your Handicapper Heat Check. Stay hot, bettors. Yeah, all right, Ian. I'm getting hungry here. So we're going to get you on your way, get the viewers on their way. But before we send you off, what do you have out there that our viewers can dig into if they want more Ian McMillan? And who wouldn't want more Ian McMillan?
Who wouldn't? Great question. The Bacon Bets podcast, 2 episodes out this week. 1, I break down my best bet for every single NFL game. for Week 10. And the other bonus episode, my best bet for all 14 fights for UFC 281, starting from the opening fight in the early prelim all the way up to the main event. So check out the Bacon Bets podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Indeed. Okay, guys, I have a ton of content up as well on the Vegas Insider YouTube channel. You're probably there right now if you're watching this on YouTube. I have a UFC 281 in-depth betting preview with the Olympian Mark O. Madsen, UFC lightweight fighter, weighing in on the top 3 fights on the card. I also make picks for every single game on Sunday in a little program we call 30 Seconds or Less. I went 8-1-1 last week, profitable in 5 of the last 6 shows, so check that out. And that's all we got. I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's been a long, busy week here. So once again, we thank everybody for tuning into the show. We wish you good luck with your picks tonight and your picks this weekend, unless you are fading us. And as always, keep chasing that paper.